Grunge is a good look for you.
Did you have a rough day, Agent Fury?
I'm gonna need clarification on this space invasion.
Skrulls are infiltrating your planet. They're shapeshifters.
Okay, prove you're not a Skrull.
That's a photon blast.
And?
A Skrull cannot do that.
I'm just supposed to take your word for that.
We are Kree. Strong, united. You have to let go of the past.
I don't remember my past.
Control it.
I have this power, but I don't know where it came from.
I've never seen anything like her.
You think you can find others?
She's just the beginning.
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think.
What is this?
The SHIELD logo.
Does announcing your identity on clothing help with the covert part of your job?
Said the space soldier who was wearing a rubber suit.
Get tickets now.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the Captain Marvel movie. So this video is a follow-up from the video I made, I think 2 days ago now, when I said that Kevin Feige confirms Captain Marvel is the future face of the MCU. And a lot of people weren't really happy with this decision. So I posted a question on my community tab asking why people weren't happy. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any Marvel DCU videos. So at the moment we are doing a 3-day giveaway. We're joining up with TC Does Comics. All you got to do to enter the competition to win an Infinity War, all you got to do is follow him, subscribe to him on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram at Warstu. I will leave all the links in the description if you want to enter that. It's a pretty sick prize. So the point of this video is to kind of have a discussion with the audience about why Captain Marvel is the future. So obviously we have people like Robert Downey Jr., we have Chris Evans, we have Chris Hemsworth, who are all coming to the end of their contracts, whether you like it or not. Phase 3 is ending. So with Avengers EndGame, or Avengers 4, or Avengers Infinity War Part 2, whatever you, I guess, call that movie, it's ending. Phase 3 is ending, and Phase 4 is going to be more cosmic. But Warstu, Thor is cosmic. Yes, Thor is cosmic. But the face of the next phase of Marvel is going to have to go to someone who has a plethora of movies left. Obviously, most Marvel people signed to 6 to 7 movies. So she appearing in Captain Marvel movie, then Avengers Endgame, that's only 2. So she's at least got 5 more movies to appear in, where someone like Robert Downey Jr. is at the end of his contract. If he doesn't die in Avengers Endgame, maybe he gets some cameo roles. He hasn't really had a kind of pinnacle role in a standalone movie at all. He's a team-up character. So everyone's saying it's not fair, it's not fair. It should be Thor, it should be Thor. I think I know the main reason why people are triggered. People are triggered because, for one, she's a woman. That's why people are triggered. But you've got to think of it Marvel's point of view. It's the 21st century now. The guys, the men, have been the face of Marvel for years. Yes, we've had Black Widow, we've had Gamora, we've had Nebula, but none of them have featured in their own standalone movie. Yes, I understand Black Widow has been in a lot of movies, and so has Scarlet Witch, but neither of them have appeared in their own movie. So obviously Captain Marvel getting her own standalone movie is a big thing, and probably the reason why Marvel went for it is because Wonder Woman was so successful after the Justice League movie flop from a financial point of view. And obviously Marvel making Captain Marvel the strongest Avenger has really triggered, annoyed people. But she is cosmic. She appears to be half Kree and half human. So why wouldn't she be stronger than any of the other Avengers? It looks like her powers are coming from the quantum realm and the Tesseract, although that's not confirmed. She can fly, okay? Thor can fly. Well, not technically he can't fly. It's not the same thing. She can shoot photon blasts out of her hand. She can time travel. So as we know, the quantum realm time travel is going to be one of the biggest factors moving forward. But I understand Marvel had to come out and make the first female movie, and it's also been unofficially confirmed that the Black Widow movie is gonna start production later next month, and it could be Marvel's first R-rated movie, which would be absolutely fantastic. So a lot of people's issues in this video comment section and also on the community tab weren't really with her. It was with the fact that they don't know anything about her. She's not been introduced yet, and Marvel's going down the social justice warrior path. I don't really seem to think that's the case, and some people are going to the extreme. I'm just scrolling through the comments now to say that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to die. And some person has put, rest in peace MCU 2008-2019. Is the MCU really going to die just because Captain Marvel is going to be the leader? They said there was going to be a dramatic shift after Avengers 4. Obviously, we know the first movie in Phase 4 will be Spider-Man Far From Home, which is set post-Avengers 4. Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige have confirmed this endless times that Spider-Man Far From Home will pick up moments after Avengers EndGame, and we know it's going more cosmic. We know we've got the Eternals movie, we know we've got Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we know they're going to be introducing lots of cosmic beings like Adam Warlock, Galactus, all these cosmic entities that some people seem to insinuate are going to appear in Avengers for Avengers Endgame. We can't have the likes of Galactus, we can't have the likes of Kang the Conqueror because they are still owned by Fox unless there's some kind of crazy deal that has taken place. So let's read some more comments of why people do not like Captain Marvel. Give me another trailer, then I'll see if she's worthy character to lead the Avengers. So far, I'm not convinced. So that seems to be the general premise, that people aren't convinced. I mean, Captain Marvel, is she the new threat? I feel threat. I don't really understand where most of these comments are coming from. Captain Marvel does not have a funny, good dialogue based on the trailers compared to someone like Tony Stark. Well, she hasn't even debuted in the MCU yet. It seems like people have already judged her. And since when was the MCU about being funny? I mean, realistically, since Thor 3, I guess. Like Iron Man 1, it's not kind of laugh out loud, I'm falling on the floor funny. And there's some comments that are pretty cool, like can't wait for Captain Marvel, looks amazing, can't wait for it. But the hate Captain Marvel, hate women in the lead roles. That's why people can hate it on Captain Marvel. So the premise is that people just don't want women to be in charge of the MCU. But that's not really what's happening. What's happening is she has got a contract with Marvel for more movies than anyone else. So that is pretty much why she will most likely be the lead of the MCU. And people like rest in peace sales for Just Like Comics, people saying that she's not a very good character in the comics. Well, they don't just pull things from the comics. She's going to be a completely, entirely different character than the one we see in the comics. Another comment here. Here comes some SJW garbage called Captain Marvel. Warstu totally cannot wait for Captain Marvel. Let's look at some more. So it's just a general feeler of why do people hate Captain Marvel. Just to be clear, the exact type of backlash has happened for Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Either people thought the plot wasn't going to work with the current MCU and thought the actors would ruin the movie. Tom Holland, when first cast, Benedict Cumberbatch, blah, 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 blah. It's happened every time Marvel has yet to let us down. So I think it's somewhat stupid and pessimistic to think Marvel is going to just things up. Well, yeah, that is pretty true. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, so there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of SWJ stuff going around about her, but realistically, no one's seen her. So it's hard to say she's not going to do a good role. I mean, it probably would have made more sense to have a debut in Infinity War, but I guess they didn't want to ruin the kind of when she arrives in Avengers Endgame. It's going to be the most epic thing ever, but there is so much negativity around her, and people to the point where people saying they're not going to watch an Avengers movie if she's in it post Avengers 4. But like Chris Evans said, you got to get off that train before you pushed. So do you really think the majority of the original Avengers are going to stick around after Avengers Endgame? No. It's the same kind of hate that Dark Phoenix is getting currently. Dark Phoenix has been through a bunch of reshoots, and Obviously, it will be the last movie if New Mutants doesn't really get released under Fox, the franchise. Everyone's saying that the last Dark Phoenix movie is going to be so bad because every test screening says it's bad, but they haven't even seen it. Another comment. People don't like her because she's a female in charge. That could be the reason. So another comment says this: we don't want Captain Marvel 10 years of MCU just to get lesbian. If she ruins EndGame, she will receive the biggest shitstorm ever and won't make another movie in her life. I don't really think that's the case. Marvel would have done some secret test screenings. I don't think they're going to put that much pressure on her as a character if they don't think she's going to do it. Remember that Marvel had casted so many big stars that weren't very good to start off with, and they're now pretty amazing. So I think her story arc is going to be fitting. It's going to make complete sense when she shows up in Avengers EndGame. It's because it's the first female lead MCU, and simple, people only get upset when movies introduce change, and this is one of those examples. I understand being upset people about the powers and the negativity towards the comic, but most complaints I've been seeing in the MCU has now gone wait, which is the most ridiculous one if you ask me. There are so many agendas being pushed in the world every single day, but it's only a in superhero movie adding a female lead. Yeah, I mean, people didn't bat an eyelid when essentially Harlequin was essentially the lead in the Suicide Squad movie. People didn't really say anything about it. Why? Well, because they loved her. Exactly. So I think what's going to happen is when you see Avengers Endgame, people were like, wow. And when you see her own solo movie, it'd be like, wow. I personally don't hate her, but I somewhat don't like the idea of someone just randomly showing up and being the strongest. She is Kree. She's been around before everyone. Her movie's set in the 90s, so it makes complete sense. There is so much hate because it's promoting feminism garbage. Well, not really, because you got to understand is the guys have been the face of the MCU for 10 years. This is a very interesting comment here. Dudes are so insecure. They see everything as a threat to their fragile masculinity. Call people SWJ, PS snowflakes while crying about literally anything they don't 100% agree with. They see a powerful woman and it's scary, hard to accept the feelings of the inadequacy she makes them feel. They see the future of the MCU has a woman hero and they think it's unfair. She is one of the most powerful and it's must, Me Too stuff. These liberals pushing an agenda insane of reality that not only dudes can be heroes. Exactly. And the way that Captain Marvel will be received, I guarantee it, is going to be like Wonder Woman being received so well that if they made Wonder Woman the lead of the next Justice League movie, or Mira, obviously Mira won't be in the next Justice League most likely if they ever make one, people won't bat an eyelid. But it's really interesting. Like, I've never seen so much anger towards someone who they haven't seen. I mean, personally, me, based on the footage we got for this, the footage we got during the latest football game, it's absolutely fire. I mean, it doesn't have to be hilariously funny. She doesn't smile enough. I mean, are you really judging a character on whether they smile or not? It's pretty interesting. So guys, drop all your comments down below. Why can't people refuse to accept someone is going to take the mantle away from Iron Man or the mantle away from Captain America? Because she's essentially going to replace Captain America or Iron Man. Because anyway, even if they don't die in this said movie, she is the face of the MCU now. So if you want to be a comic book fan, a comic book movie fan in the sense of Marvel, you're going to have to learn to love her or learn to love to hate her. Because yes, Black Widow will be around, but she hasn't got 6, 7, 8 more movies left in her contract now, has she? So this is a bit of a discussion video. It's not really any news. I'm just breaking down what you guys have said. I just think everyone should give a movie a chance. It does look pretty fire. Does come out in just over a month, but the negativity is not needed. I mean, it's got one of the highest comment ratio to view ratio on one of my videos ever about why people are outraged by a female being the lead of the MCU. I mean, we're supposed to live in the equality kind of 21st century where there's supposed to be 50-50. I mean, the men have dominated the MCU. There aren't really many female MCU characters, to be honest, except for Black Widow and Scarlet Witch. I mean, obviously Nebula and Gamora, but that's it really. I mean, there are a few more, but people know. If you ask someone to kind of say list all the MCU female characters, a lot of people will struggle to get past Black Widow and Gamora or Nebula. So it's going to be a very interesting time come the end of April when Avengers Endgame is done with, to see if all these people that said they will not be watching Marvel movies, to see if they still watch Marvel movies. Anyway guys, this has been a discussion video. If you would like me to do another discussion video, let me know in the comment box down below. And like I said, enter that competition by subscribing to TC Does Comics. I'll be doing more podcast-based videos like this, discussion videos with some pretty cool YouTubers and some creators and potentially some actors if something that I'm working on comes through. So anyway guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.